So Howie Roseman has done it again, in my opinion, with this signing of cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, and True Classic has done it again with this fantastic deal for the Bird Gang. 25% off your order at trueclassic.com/chat25. I'm wearing another one of their polos. If you want to get swagged up, do it with True Classic. Save money and look good. It's trueclassic.com/chat25. So we have some breaking news here on Philadelphia Eagles now, as the Birds have made a pretty surprising move, signing defensive back and kick returner Isaiah Rodgers, a very popular name, but he's not going to be able to help this football team in 2023. Not because of injury. Why, though? We'll tell you here in just a few moments. But first, this is why you subscribe to the channel. I'm telling you, anytime the Eagles make a move, I have you covered. Over the weekend, the Eagles were cutting players. I was doing shows from the crib. Now they make a move. I'm in the studio. I throw on the headset, hop on the mic as we spit this hot fire. The Dave Chappelle fans know what I'm talking about. Hit that subscribe button right now for year-round and daily coverage of the Eagles. So, with Isaiah Rodgers, you want to get to know him? Let's get to know him. 6th-round pick out of UMass by the Colts in the 2020 NFL Draft. Why he can't play in 2023, an unfortunate mistake by him that was an ill-advised mistake. He was placed on the reserve suspended list for violating the NFL's gambling policies. This is something that has obviously run rampant for some players across the NFL, and it's a little bit weird to me how the NFL is going to go out of its way to promote gambling. But if you even place a wager on a game from even the parking lot of the practice facility, you're going to get suspended for a couple of games, if not the entire season. I'm not sure the specific details for Isaiah Rodgers, but obviously he violated the gambling policy. He had to have laid down a bet, most likely at the facility, and because of that, he's been suspended all of 2023. So this isn't a move that's going to benefit Philadelphia this year, but he's going to be a stash piece for the secondary in 2024, and a very good one. So it's a little bit of a risk, but in my opinion, this is a classic Howie Roseman move. Extraordinary value for a really good player. Do you like the signing? Just give me a Y for yes or an N for no. So why I like this move and why I think it's a peak just Howie Roseman plays, getting really, really good value for a player who's talented, has a lot of upside at a position that Howie Roseman takes seriously when he builds his football team. And according to Pro Football Focus, these were Rodgers' grades last year, 5th best overall cornerback. And as far as being rated in coverage, Isaiah Rodgers, the 6th best cornerback in coverage. So he could clearly play. He's just not going to be able to partake in any games in 2023. And I think this signing, kind of a good example of Howie Roseman just having foresight and looking ahead. And I think all businesses have an opportunity to do this, where they plan and they think ahead. And sometimes rigid businesses, they're the ones that get lapped. They're the ones who struggle to adapt to the new times. And in the NFL, sometimes you get that a little bit. For Howie Roseman, that's not how he goes about his business. Howie Roseman is very creative in his thinking, and he's always trying to get value. And here, you're getting a guy who was a top 5, top 6 cornerback last year, according to Pro Football Focus, basically for nothing. And as we project forward, Darius Slay, James Bradberry, they're getting a little bit older. This is the young defensive back list on this Eagles roster. Keely Ringo, 21 years old. Josh Joby's only 25. Isaiah Rodgers is only 25 years old. Eli Ricks is only 21. Mario Goodrich, 23. Mekhi Garner, 23 years old. Now, Ricks, Goodrich, Garner, they might not be able to make this roster this year for the 53. Practice squad at the very least, though, and they can be a part of the Eagles' plans as we look ahead to 2024. So many thoughts to get to, but first, just want to take a minute to talk about these amazing shirts that True Classic has. They also have jeans and shorts as well, and I'm loving the spice in my wardrobe thanks to True Classic. It's my go-to destination for really everything. Tees, shorts, jeans, other closet essentials. I love how their shirts fit and feel, offering us guys premium products without the premium price tag. Again, premium products without the premium price tag. Believe me, once you try these shirts from True Classic, you'll never go back to regular basics. Let's also talk about the t-shirts specifically. I know you've probably heard me rant about them before. They're so good. I use them when I'm working out. Sometimes I wear them on the show here at Chat Sports as well. Seriously, you haven't lived until you've worn one of these perfect fitting tees. They're ultra soft, cut to highlight your arms and chest while hiding your gut because they space out in the gut a little bit. You know me. We've all had a few extra beers this summer. With these True Classic shirts, nobody even knows. Plus, they come in packs because, well, we all hate laundry, right? So get hooked up now. It's trueclassic.com/chat25. trueclassic.com/chat25. That's the promo code as well for that deal to apply. Use that link in that promo code so that you can save and you can add to your wardrobe here. So let's continue this conversation about Isaiah Rodgers here. We talk about how Howie Roseman's having foresight in building his business, and he's taking a shot on a player who can't play this year, but he can clearly play. You look at what he's done in his first couple of years in the NFL since coming out from UMass, and in 2020, 13 games played, 7 tackles, 0 tackles for loss, 0 pass breakups, and 0 picks. In 2021, 49 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 7 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. And then last year in 2022, 15 games played, 34 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 pass breakups, and 0 interceptions. Let me ask you this question. What is the downside of signing a player like Isaiah Rodgers? The only downside is that he can't play this year. But you're fine this year at that cornerback spot. This is an upgrade or at least a play for next year to maybe upgrade your depth at the very least for a very affordable price tag, and he's going to be able to help you in the future. So you look at this Eagles secondary here. They're set with Darius Slay as your one outside cornerback, and then James Bradbury, your second outside cornerback. Avonte Maddox is going to be in that nickel. We're still not sure definitively who's going to start alongside Reed Blankenship at strong safety, but we know that Blankenship is penciled in there as one of the starting safeties. And then after that, as far as that other safety spot goes, you can go with a guy like Sidney Brown, the upstart rookie who plays with his hair on fire and plays with physicality and a lack of fear that Philadelphia is going to absolutely love. You can go with Terrell Edmunds, a former first-round pick, Justin Evans, a former second-round pick who missed a couple of years because of a torn Achilles. But then the conversation goes back to what we were talking about earlier for this entire, really, secondary. You have Kelee Ringo, Mario Goodrich, Josh Jobe, Eli Ricks, who I think is really deserving of a roster spot, one of the highest graded cornerbacks, according to Pro Football Focus, for all cornerbacks throughout the preseason. So this is what I'm talking about here with this move just being a smart and savvy move to get a really good player for a guy, again, who can't play for you in 2023, but can impact your club in a big way potentially in 2024. Eagles cut so far. These are the players that they have let go in the lead up to Tuesday's deadline, where all teams will release a bunch of players, get those rosters down to 53 players. Josh Andrews, tight end Dan Arnold, wide receiver Deion Kane, tackle Dennis Kelly, center Cameron Tom, tackle Brett Toth, linebacker Quentin Bell, quarterback Ian Book, running back Kennedy Brooks, defensive lineman Robert Cooper, and then basically 9 more cuts here and 10 transactions because you see Roderick Johnson was placed on IR. That opens up a roster spot. So Jaden Hazelwood, the wide receiver, tight end Tyree Jackson, wide receiver Johnny King, who I actually thought was pretty impressive in the preseason. Tyreek Maddox-Williams led the team in tackles that preseason finale, had that interception, but the linebacker's been let go. A taxi squad candidate for sure. Offensive lineman Tyrese Robinson, defensive lineman Olave Segapalu, defensive lineman Caleb Saunders, wide receiver Freddie Swain, defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. Those are 19 cuts up to this point. The roster currently sits at 70, and Isaiah Rodgers is not going to count toward that 53-man roster here in 2023. If you made it to the end of the video, we appreciate you. We wanted to scrap a show together and give you some details on Rodgers here. This is a signing I'm pretty excited about because anytime Howie Roseman gets in his bag, it does get you that feeling that football is almost back when he's trying to construct this roster. But when we can look ahead a little bit, that's also pretty enticing as well. So give me a real one down below. Don't forget to subscribe and keep it locked here on Tuesday, because when the Eagles make those roster moves, we'll break them down here on the show.